What's up everybody, I'm Brian from I Want Tesla. Today we're going to be looking at my Model X. We got version 2020.8.1 for the Model X. This is a performance Raven Model X. The 0.8 update was for really the Model 3 performance with track mode, but what does it do for the Model X? The update before this gave range to the non-performance, which I didn't get because that's a performance. Let's take a look at what the difference is to the X. Okay, now that we're in the Model X, let's pull up. You can see the software version is 8.1, 22,160 miles on the car. But let's look at the release notes. So what we have here is Bluetooth improvements. What this is going to do is when you open the door, your phone is not going to connect to Bluetooth to the car before you sit down, which is really good because it's a pain in the butt sometimes when you walk up to your car, open the door, put something in the trunk or whatever, you're putting the kids in the car, and all of a sudden it switches over from maybe your AirPods over to the car, and then you have that weird delay you have to stop and tell people. So that's a really great feature because the car knows if you're sitting here or not. Regenerative braking. The force is increased to improve the driving experience. So we're going to drive around and see what that is, see if there's any differences to this, and it's really just going to be a judgment call on my end because you're not going to be in the car with me. I mean, kind of, but not really. Improved voice command reliability. And then the previous notes here are from before. Additional, it tells you more information about the vehicle. We're going to get out, and first I'm going to call my wife, and we're going to test this part out, the Bluetooth improvements. All right, so I've got Karen on the phone here on speaker. Say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone. So
you can't see her, but you can see my phone. So I have the key in my pocket. We're connected Bluetooth, so once the door opens up to the car, it should not click over from Bluetooth until I sit down in the seat, and we're going to see. All right, so before I start walking any closer to the car and it opens the door for me, when you are putting your book bag or your briefcase into the passenger seat at work, does the car pick up from your AirPods and kick out of your AirPods when you're talking to somebody?
Yeah, prior to this update, I would be on a conference call walking to my car, and while I'm opening the door, it would automatically transfer over into the car, and then I could no longer either hear or be talking to the person I was talking to, which was quite annoying. So I'm hoping this update helps with that.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm hoping it does too. So as we're going to walk to the car, it's already, the lights are flashing, and let's see if the door opens up. The door is opened up, so it should be connected. Now, Karen, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, cool. So both screens have popped on inside the car, and Karen's still here. Let's say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Still here.
So now at this point, the car would have switched over, or there would have been a long pause where you don't know where it is. So it's still coming from the phone. And why don't you keep talking as I sit down in the car, Karen?
Well, I'm hoping this update really helps with that because I was recently at Tesla, and every single time the tech would open the door, I was on a conference call in the waiting room, it would switch over to the car, and I would obviously be talking inside when I should be talking on my phone and my AirPods. So let's see if this really helps.
Okay, this is really cool. It switched over mid-sentence, but it didn't switch over until I put my foot on the brake and the door closed.
That's nice.
So you can sit down in the car. It's not just seat sensitive. It's also starting the car up, really. Because putting your foot on the brake, the door closes, then everything starts to move. So that's really cool. This Bluetooth thing stayed grayed out on the screen until I closed the door. And Karen was still talking on the phone, and then it picked up. That's really cool. That's going to be a great thing, a great feature for people, and definitely for you, Karen.
Yeah, definitely for me, because that's all the time. I'm constantly on a conference call while I'm getting into my car or vice versa, so that's great.
Well, let's do this. I'm going to put it in drive just so it simulates a drive. I'm not going to go anywhere, so you stay on the phone, Karen. And then now I'll put it in park, and I'm going to open the door, and we're still connected to Bluetooth. Are you there, Karen?
Yeah, I'm
still okay. Here. You're still connected to the car, but now I'm going to get out of the seat and see what it does.
Okay, so let's see what it does. Hopefully it will be in the car until you get out, or I'm not sure.
You're still coming through the car, not through the phone, and I'm standing outside of the car. But let me.
So that might not be good.
Yeah, but let me close the door and see how fast it switches over. Now everything's black in the car. Karen, are you there?
I heard a little transition there.
Okay, so actually you went out of speaker. Okay, now you're back on the phone. So that went pretty quickly, but getting out of the seat didn't trigger it to switch over to the phone or the EarPods.
Yeah, I would like it a lot better. I think it would be a better function if when you open the door, it switched back over to the AirPods.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm curious about is if I switched to AirPods prior to getting out of the car, like prior to opening the door. I wonder if it would stay in my AirPods instead of, because sometimes I would do that and then it would switch back to the car, or either it would switch back to the car when I opened the passenger door.
Okay.
Like.
Well, let me do that. Let me go grab my AirPod and we'll try that. Now I've locked the car up and I put my AirPod in. So Karen is talking to me through my AirPod. You can't hear her, of course, but she's talking to me through there. I can hear her. I'll tell you if it switches over to the car. Well, you'll be able to hear if it switches over to the car or stays in the AirPod. So we'll walk up to the door. It should auto present. Okay. So again, it's still in my ear. It's not in the car, although Bluetooth looks like it's connected. We're gonna sit in the car. Okay. Okay, actually the Bluetooth is grayed out still. I'm gonna push the brake. The door closes, and Karen?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, it went to the car. It skipped out of the AirPod and went into the car. That's
So it automatically does that instead of you.
Yes.
Do you have any option? Because I'd rather have the option.
Yeah, I would rather have the option as well, because if you have it in your ear, although, are you supposed to drive with AirPods in? I don't know if that's considered hands-free or not. So.
Well, the reason why I do it is because sometimes when I'm driving in the Model X, which is another point of discussion, but often I hear either a reverb or I hear, a lot of echoing, or even at some points people have told me that I sound like I'm underwater. So that's why I prefer to wear one AirPod. I don't have to wear both.
Well, let me do this on the phone, because we have a dock for the phone up here. I'm gonna press and switch over to the AirPod. And are you there? Okay, it switched over to the AirPod, so it's easy to switch back and forth. I mean, you can go right to the car, and you're back into the car now.
So it still kind of doesn't fix the problem. I mean, it fixes somewhat of the problem, because hopefully if I'm opening the passenger door, then it won't do it automatically.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but we'll still have to play with it a little bit.
Yeah, so it's not perfect, but it's better than it was before, because it doesn't automatically pick up as you're putting stuff into the car, because that's annoying. So this looks like it's going to help out a little bit better and make people's lives a little bit easier. Thanks, Karen, for helping out with the video. Hopefully I wasn't interrupting you doing anything.
No, not at all. I'm available anytime.
All right, great. Thanks. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Bye.
Oh my God. I'm not going to tell her. Don't tell her anything, guys. So in conclusion, this update is a good update as far as Bluetooth goes. It's going to be great for a lot of people that going from place to place, getting in and out of the car as they're talking and communicating on the phone. So great update for that. I don't notice much of the regen. I'm curious if the regen is stronger on the Model 3s. I don't have the data for the drive, but I am using the TesLab app now. Ben from Teslanomics sent me the app, and it's just try out the pro version of it just to see my views of it and give a review of it. That will be coming soon, but I want to get my hands on that and really understand it. So I'm going to try to put the data of this trip and see if there's more regen that shows up on the map. I just started it, so I'm not sure if I'll see much, but I'll put that up on the screen here, and maybe there is more. As always, stay awesome, stay positive, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.